The Muslim Brotherhood is at the center of the current diplomatic crisis between Qatar and its neighbors. Saudi Arabia, the UAE and Egypt are demanding Qatar cut ties with the Brotherhood and say it's a terrorist organization. But is this really about terrorism? Or is it about silencing the voice of opposition? To answer this question, let's take a look at who the Brotherhood is. The Muslim Brotherhood was born in Egypt in the 1920s and played a key role in the fight against British colonialism. They remained a voice of opposition against monarchies, ultranationalist and military dictatorships in the Arab world, rallying instead to support a pan-Islamic ideology and bring a more Islam-centric approach to governance. In Algeria, the Egyptian Muslim Brotherhood supported the War of Independence against French forces and inspired the formation of another party, the Movement for Society of Peace. In Palestine, during the First Intifada of 1987, an affiliate of the Muslim Brotherhood, Hamas, was born. And after winning democratic elections in 2006, it took control of the Gaza Strip. Members of the group have also been part of governments in Jordan, Bahrain, Kuwait, Libya and Morocco for more than 20 years. In 2011, when popular uprisings kicked off in Tunisia, the Brotherhood-inspired group called Al-Nahda rose to power, ending the 23-year reign of Ben Ali. That same year, Egypt's President Mubarak was toppled, and the Freedom and Justice Party, representing the Brotherhood, was elected to parliament and the presidency. It was a historic moment for both Egypt and the Muslim Brotherhood, but it didn't last long. Less than a year later, amid growing discontent against the party, the military seized control in 2013 and went after the Muslim Brotherhood, locking up its leaders, handing out hundreds of death sentences, taking its TV channels off the air, and killing more than 1,000 of its supporters in a single day, in what is known as the Rabaa massacre. Saudi Arabia and the UAE bankrolled the coup with more than $30 billion in an attempt to weaken the Muslim Brotherhood and stamp out its influence in challenging the legitimacy of their monarchies. As the group is pushed further underground, some of its offshoots have taken up arms and are blamed for attacks on security personnel in Egypt. Despite being outlawed and persecuted for most of its history, the Muslim Brotherhood is now fighting for its survival. Designated a terrorist organization in Egypt, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Syria, and Russia. But US Secretary of State Rex Tillerson says that's a bad idea. He says the group still has over 5 million members across the Middle East, and branding them terrorists would complicate the security and politics of the region.
There are elements of Muslim Brotherhood that have now become part of governments. And those elements, they have done so by renouncing violence and terrorism.
But the Saudi-led bloc is still trying to get the group blacklisted across the world and are pressuring Qatar to do the same. So as the stalemate between the Gulf neighbors continues, what will be the future of the Muslim Brotherhood? Is the biggest political movement in the Middle East really a front for terrorism? And will shutting the organization out of the democratic process lead to stability in the region?